Look at our third kind of section of Google Sites here, and what we're going to be taking a look at is adding some Google Drive stuff, organizing our pages, which are kind of a little bit of a mess right now, and kind of messing with our bar a little bit here. Okay, so let's start off by adding another page here. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit of what we call like a dummy page. It's just going to be blank for now. Um, but maybe I'll make it another NBA page, just so it's related to basketball. So maybe I'll call it why Mr. V should be a top 5, no, top 3 point guard in the NBA. Okay, cool. So it's another NBA related web page. Now, here's the thing. I have 2 NBA related web pages here. So it'd be nice if I could like kind of group those things together. And there actually is a way to do it. Now, what we do to make that happen is we kind of create what's called an umbrella page. And the umbrella page holds all the related pages together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an umbrella page. I'm going to call it just simply NBA News. Good stuff. And for now, we've left it blank. So you see, we start coming up with a whole lot of pages here. We have a blank NBA News. We have why Mr. V should be a top 3 point guard in the NBA. But we want to put these things in to here. So how do we do that? Well, it's actually really nice and easy. What we're going to do is we're going to click and hold, and we can actually put this in here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we'll do the same thing with this. We'll click and hold, and we'll put it in to our NBA News. Okay, that looks really good. So now what did that do for us? And before we do anything, let me change that back because I didn't just make it easy for you. Look what happened here. So we used to have all those links all on top here. Now I've created this little drop-down menu. So I've organized all of my NBA news into one spot. That's really nice. So on my home page, I can actually access all of my NBA news right from here. Now, Buffalo Bills are NFL news, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a dummy page, NFL news. This is my umbrella. And it bumps into this spot. Well, I don't want it there, so what do? All we need to do is just click and drag, and I can put it kind of wherever I want. Now, I don't want to put it on top of the Buffalo Bills because that means it's going to go inside of it. Let's just put it back on our home page here, and it's even easy if we do something like that, but we kind of don't want it to be a drop down of our home. So generally where you want to put it is if you click and drag, we'll just put it right at the bottom of our list. Perfect. So now we have our Buffalo Bills, we have our NFL news, but that's not exactly what we want. We want to keep all of our NFL news organized into this kind of like a one little folder. So I'm going to click and drag that, put that into my NFL news, and now things are starting to look really clean because I have my NBA news, I have my NFL news. I could go and make NHL news, MLB news, soccer news, whatever I wanted. As long as I keep things organized, it tends to look really clean. Okay, perfect. So let's go to the page I just created, why Mr. V should be a top 3 point guard in the NBA. And what I'm actually going to do, because I mean, like everybody knows, I obviously should be a top 3 point guard in the NBA. So just for coming to this page, I'm actually going to give viewers a reward. I'm actually going to give them a file to take a look at instead. And instead of writing all this information, I'm just going to redirect them to a file. And what we use that for, this is actually going to be really useful, especially for commenting activity, when I need to start seeing some of the documents that you have created. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called Google Drive. Now, if you haven't used Google Drive before, it is so awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new web page here, and I'm going to type in drive.google.com. Perfect. Click on that, and here we go. So this is my drive, and you can see that I actually use it quite a bit. And the reason I use it quite a bit is because it's awesome. It stores all of my files in the internet, so that means if I'm at home and I don't have my laptop, or I'm at school and I don't have my laptop, I can always just log into drive.google.com and access all my files. Perfect. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to upload a file from my computer. So I'm going to go to New, I'm going to go to File, Upload, and let's go to Unit 7, Google Sites, and what files do I have here for you to take a look at? Okay, I'm going to put in the exam here for you. Perfect, so I have my final exam file here. Awesome. So these are all of my folders and files on Google Drive, and I could add a bunch more or I can delete them, doesn't matter. What I want here is to put a file in that I'm actually going to use on my website. Okay, so let's go to my website over here, and I'm going to say, little text box, for coming to this website, please enjoy the document below. Excellent. That looks good. So now what I can do is I can go to Insert, and I will go to, where do we have it here? Drive. Perfect. So I'm going to go to Insert, Drive, and now it's going to say, okay, well, what do you want to share? What do you want to give the people? And I'm going to go to the file I just put in, which is the final exam. I'll click on that, and I will click Insert. So that's actually a really cool thing, because when I go to Insert and I click on Drive, it's linked to all the stuff that I have in my drive. Now, if you've never used Google Drive before, yours is going to be completely empty. So the very first thing you'd have to do is upload a file or two into here in order to be able to insert it into this spot. Now, here is the problem. The problem is if I publish this and you went to go take a look at it, you actually wouldn't be able to see this. Why? Because it's in my drive. You're not allowed to see the stuff that's in my drive unless I give you access to it. So what I can do to give you access, if I right click on this, and do I want to do here? Ah, yes, up here. So I can go to Share Final Exam. Okay. So here I can adjust all my restrictions, because right now it says I am the only person allowed to see it. Okay, got it. I don't want that. I want to allow everyone to see it. So what we can do is I can change this. So anyone with the link can view. That's exactly what I want. So now anybody with the link can view. Perfect. So if I click Done, we're ready to rock. So now I have this little sharing icon beside it. That's what I want. So I'm going to go back in. Now just to test, I'm going to publish this. Okay, we'll hit publish, and we're good to go. So let's take a look at our new page that we created. We'll go to MBA. Oh, sorry, I got to go to View. Okay, so if we're coming to this website, please enjoy the document below. Here's the document. Lovely. This is the final exam answers for BTT, and obviously I'm not going to scroll down, but this is the final exam. So I said, for coming to this website, please enjoy this document. It is here for you, and anybody could see it. So you can even see it bigger in what's called a pop-out. So if I click on the pop-out, it'll actually take me to the entire solutions file here, and I'll have this available here on this website. Perfect. Looking good. Now, that's a way to share a file using Google Drive. The steps are pretty easy, right? Upload the file in here, make sure we adjust our permissions using this little share icon here. All we need to do is just make sure that we have this. Anyone on the link with the internet can view. Perfect. Now, let's say you're like, sir, don't like doing it that way. Is there another way you can do it? Well, of course there is. So let's upload another file and see if you like this way better. So now I'm going to upload maybe this welcome to the cloud. Okay, so it's uploading, Perfect, almost done, and we got it. All right, so I've uploaded this. Now, what I want to do with this one instead, I'm just going to actually get a link to it. And you see this little icon up here? Get link. Perfect. Click on that. Okay, got it. And I want to change it to, instead of restricted, anybody with the link can take a look at it. That makes sense to me. So here's my link. I'm just going to click up here, copy link, and we're good to go. So I've changed it to anyone with the link, which means as long as you have this link, you can see it. I've copied the link to my clipboard, which means now if I paste it, anybody can take a look. And now I'll go back here. So I'm going to go back to my website. Good. So I have one that is kind of like a live preview. That's really nice because it's my Drive insert, but I could also just insert it right using text. So I could just literally paste that in and there's my link, but that doesn't look nearly as nice. Still gets the job done, but I would obviously much rather prefer that method. Okay? But if you want to do that, I could also say, or check out this other document. And here I would just put the link in, insert that, apply. Perfect. So we've just linked it to that. So either way is going to work for you, but sharing files is a really important part of having a website because there's lots of times you're going to want to share pictures or PDFs or Word documents or whatever. This is an easy way to do it. Upload things to Drive, make sure you share them, and then you're good to go. Okay? Perfect. Couple last things that are worth taking a look at here. Let's go back to our home page. And my navigation bar right now is at the top, but perhaps I don't want it at the top. Perhaps I want something a little sleeker. I'm going to go to my navigation settings up here, click this, and I can change my mode from top to side. And now you see this little sidebar here. So I can click on that, and now I have everything opened up in my side. And that's personal preference. Whatever you like is completely cool, but that is up to you. You also see it has the option to add a logo. You can or you don't have to. It's completely up to you whether you want to add a logo to your sites. I tend not to most times, but if I do have an awesome logo kicking around, I might put it up. Okay, I think that is looking pretty good. The last thing I want to do is just show you the maps feature, and then I think that's going to do it. The other thing before we get into that is the themes. We can always change our themes around should we get tired of kind of how our website looks. And it's really nice because right now we have a simple theme going on. So clicking on themes, I can change the color scheme of my stuff to green or black or purple or whatever I want. By default, it's at blue. I can also change the actual style or theme of my website to something from simple to Aristotle or diplomat or impression or level or whatever I want. And that changes the entire look and feel of my website. But just because I've been looking at simple this whole time, I'm going to leave it on simple. But you might want to switch yours up to make it look a little different. I know a lot of people tend to really like the diplomat theme just because it looks really impactful. But for me, simple is fine for right now. Okay, looks good. Let's scroll down to one of our last spots here, which is our insert, and we've inserted a whole lot of things. We've looked at collapsible text. We don't really look at a table of contents yet. We've put in an image carousel, a button. We've even done YouTube clips. We don't really have a calendar to share or document slides, sheets, and forms because we don't really use too much of that stuff. But we did look at inserting a Google Drive. So one of the last things that we're going to insert here is a map. So I'm going to put a map in and it says, okay, what is the location of your map? So maybe I'm going to put in our school. So Saint Jean de Brebeuf. Let's see if this is the one. It is. Perfect. This is our Hamilton location. We'll click select, and now it puts a nice little map in that people can kind of interact with, zoom out, whatever. So I'm going to say a little text box here. If you don't like my sports views, please find me here. Hashtag beef. So I put a little map in so people know if they want to score up, this is where I'm at, and they can come find me. This map is really great for businesses because you can mark your specific location on a business, even good for directions or things like that too. So the maps are a really, really helpful feature. Okay, that pretty much concludes most of the stuff that we're going to get into. The rest of the stuff I will obviously touch base with you, but this is a pretty good overview of this. So we've organized things into sub pages. We have our umbrella pages here. We've done our navigation bar. We learned how to link things both internally and externally, including our image carousel. Okay, so that concludes it. I'm going to publish it, and then we are good to go. Okay, thanks for listening.